I would like to quickly dive into the Ugandan context. When the Voice grant was introduced, I may say, we undertook, as a country, a country context analysis in 2016. The context analysis was meant to update the status of Uganda in terms of the target groups that had been identified, to understand the level of marginalization, to profile, and also to identify the entry points for the intervention and even emphasis that would later inform the calls for proposals. This was done, and we had a validation meeting on the 3rd of November 2016 at Fairway Hotel. Some of you attended. Consequently, we had the launch of the Voice Project on the 8th of December 2016. Now, in the country context analysis, you have seen the target groups, persons living with disabilities, vulnerable women living exploitation, abuse and violence, ethnic or indigenous minorities. That shortly I will give you a short list of who these are. It causes a lot of confusion. The elderly and the young, we call the age discriminated. We have also sexual minorities, lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, intersex, and queer. In the Ugandan context, it was established through that survey done by consultants that the vulnerable women, the indigenous groups, persons living with disabilities, and the elderly were most significantly marginalized, but above all, were also within the programming areas that Oxfam works in. Voice at a global level, you are already aware that it's a fund coming from the Dutch Ministry of Foreign Affairs, but managed by Oxfam and HIVOS. So Voice is not funded by Oxfam, it is not funded by HIVOS. It is funded by the Dutch Ministry of Foreign Affairs, but Oxfam and HIVOS manage the fund at the global level. And it's for that reason that in some countries it's managed by Oxfam and in others by HIVOS. 6 of the countries are Oxfam countries, if I may say so, and 4 are HIVOS countries. In Uganda, Voice Project sits in Oxfam, and that's why you find Voice Oxfam. Some people mix the two. We shared with you a logo for your publications, and we said you only need to use the Voice logo and not the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and not HIVOS and not Oxfam, but Voice. When the Voice Project was launched in Uganda on the 8th of December 2016, it was launched by the Minister of Gender, Labour and Social Development, who in turn but was represented by Commissioner for Rights. Commissioner for Rights, Bernard Bojuni. It was also on that same day that a call for proposals, the first call for proposals was launched by the guest of honor and also the Dutch ambassador. That's when the first call went out, to which you responded, those under the influencing grant. You have already seen that there are 4 types of grants: influencing grants, empowerment grants, Innovate and Learn grants, and Sudden Opportunity grant. Then there is a fifth one which is a bit unique, which is our service provider that for which we are here, and Christine will speak to that later on. So in Ugandan context, we have those four categories: vulnerable women, indigenous groups, persons living with disabilities, and the elderly. I want to quickly make reference to indigenous groups because many people say, who are these indigenous groups we are talking about? Many people talk about the Batwa only. We have the Venoma, who are found in Kapchorwa, Arua, and Kayunga. We have the Nyangia, they are in Kotido. We have the Mivuba, they are in Arua and Mukono. We have the Mening, they are in Kotido. We have the Bahehe, they are in Rukunjiri and Busia. We have the Batwa in Kasese, Kaba Lake, Soro, and Kanungu. We have the Ik or the Teoso, they are in Kabong. We have the Lendu, then Masindi, Poima, and Nevi. We have the Banyabindi. The Banyabindi are in Kasese and Mubende. We have the Babukusu, then Masindi and Bugiri. We have the Chope in Masindi. We have the Batuku in Bundubujo. We have the Banyala in Kamuli and Kayunga. We have the So or the Tebet in Nakapiripirit. We have the Nubi in Luwero, and we have also the Kebu in Arua. So when we talk about indigenous ethnic minorities, we are actually referring to this. It is a list that was generated by the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, 2002. And this, a lot may have changed. They may no longer be the indigenous ethnic minorities. A lot may have changed by now. You have seen that we have had 95 calls for proposals for the 10 countries. In Uganda, we have had 8 calls for proposals. The Influencing Grant has made 2 calls for proposals. Under the Empowerment Grant, we have made 2 calls for proposals. Under Innovate and Learn grants, we have made 2 calls for proposals. Under the Sudden Opportunity, we have made 2 calls, rather 1 call for proposals. And then the Linking and Learning Facilitator, we made 2 calls on purpose. Under the Influencing Grant, the first Influencing Grant call, we received 185 proposals. And we're able to grant 7 organizations. 7. Can the organizations that are represented under the 7 kindly stand up? Under the Influencing Grant. Others have been turned up. I've seen KRC, Global Rice Salad, Seged, Nodipo is not here, FHRI is not here. If you represent an organization that you're not aware, in which category it falls? So we have FHRI, we have Seged, we have KRC, we have Global Rice Salad, we have seaweed. How many are those?
5.
Those are 5? Please sit down. So we granted to 7 organizations out of the 185 proposals received. Like you heard, it's a very competitive process, and to make it as successful is really a lot of work for you, and we congratulate you upon that. Under the Empowerment Grants, The first call, we received 95 proposals, and we are only able to grant to 7 organizations. Can the members who are representing any of the 7 please stand up under the empowerment grants? Serid is here. P4C is here. I can see Lotina Dono is here. Pachedo. CCI, yes, CCI. 7 organizations. Please sit. Under the Sudden Opportunity Grant, we received 109 concepts, but we were only able to consider 1 concept. A Sudden Opportunity is undertaken under consortium arrangement, and what was very hot then, very contentious, was the issue of the land amendment. And so we looked at a concept that was focusing on land amendment, the composition of the members, their experience and competence in the area of land rights, and then land advocacy around land rights issues. And we considered 1 concept of 3 consortium members. LASPINET, that is taking lead, Legal Aid Service Providers Network, Action Aid, and PELAM. Can members coming from that consortium stand up, please? And LASPINET is represented, PELAM is represented. LASPINET is a consortium headed by LASPINET, but including Action Aid. I don't see anyone from Action Aid. No. It's only LASPINET and PELAM. Please sit. Under the Innovate and Land grants, we received 85 proposals, and we are only able to consider 3. We're going to consider 3. Can members of the 3 organizations stand up? We have SORAC Development Agency. We have Uganda Reach the Aged Association. Then we have Albinism Umbrella. I do not see the executive director of Albinism Umbrella. You would have been able to.
Yes, follow she's attending another workshop. She'll be here tomorrow.
Yes. Oh, please sit. Olivia, the executive director of Albinism Umbrella, is herself an albino. And it was an interesting proposal on how the organization proposes to profile people living with albinism in Uganda, to set up a database and so on. Quite interesting. Then we had also the call proposals for linking and learning facilitator, but that now Christy will speak to, as the reason we are here, what the linking and learning is about. It was quite a protracted process, so the contract took a little bit long, but we are glad we have the linking and learning facilitator that Christine will speak to a little later. So far we have 17 grantees. 17. Let me also quickly say that out of the 7 grantees under the influencing grant, 1 did not implement the project. And the reason was there were accountability issues that it had, and another project whose funding also came through Oxfam. When there are issues to do with accountability, issues to do with fraud, issues to do with corruption, it can lead to a cancellation of the grant, even if you have received the money. Even if you have gone through due diligence and so on, and then information reaches the voice team, either in Uganda or the management of Oxfam Uganda or the voice team at The Hague, through the whistleblower policy which you see popping up when you go to the boss website, and it is investigated and found to be true that you have accountability lapses, it can lead to cancellation of the grant. So one of the organizations had to be discontinued from implementing the voice project. So it can be as serious as that, and we hope that you don't fall a victim. Planned, we have in the process, we have just approved 8 organizations under the empowerment grants, under the second call. 8. They are not here because, like Inez said, it is still in the process of negotiation and so on, contracting and so on. Legally, they are not yet grantees because we haven't signed a contract with them. They don't even have a budget for learning and learning, and there are so many things that need to be done first before they can formally be part of this convention. But there are 8 that are coming on board. Under the influencing grants, we are still in the process of reviewing and approving. We do not know, but we received 65 proposals under the influencing grant. Under the second call, under the influencing grant second call, we received 65 proposals. And I cannot speculate how many will make it to be approved for granting. Under the empowerment grant, we received 168 proposals, and only 8 were able to be approved. So 160 did not make it. Under the Innovate and Learn grant, the Innovate and Learn grant, the second call, we have received 65 proposals. Again, I cannot speculate how many will be successful because it is a team that does the review, and it goes through a number of processes up to approval before we can confirm how many will be successful. But we expect that by December this year we shall have